Have you ever looked at an old coin and wondered what stories it could tell? Sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest pieces of history. Today, we're taking a close look at one of Canada's most fascinating wartime coins, the 1944 Tombac 5 cent. At first glance, it may seem like an ordinary nickel, but this coin was born during one of the most challenging periods in modern history, World War II. Material shortages, military demands, and changing technology all played a role in creating this remarkable piece of Canadian numismatic history. In today's documentary, we'll explore the history of the 1944 Tombac 5 cent, examine every detail on both the obverse and reverse, discuss why Tombac was used, learn about its rarity, value, and discover why collectors around the world continue to search for this historic coin. Before we examine the coin itself, let's travel back to the early 1940s. World War II had completely changed the world's economy. Metals such as nickel were desperately needed to manufacture military equipment, armor plating, aircraft engines, and countless other war supplies. Canada was one of the world's largest producers of nickel, and nearly every available supply was being redirected toward the Allied war effort. That created a problem. The Royal Canadian Mint still needed to produce circulating coins for everyday commerce. The solution was to temporarily replace pure nickel with another alloy called Tombac. Tombac is a brass-like alloy made mostly of copper with approximately 12% zinc. It has a golden appearance when freshly struck, although many surviving examples have toned to shades of brown, bronze, or silver, depending on circulation and storage. Canada used Tombac for 5-cent coins only briefly, from 1942 through 1944, making these issues unique in Canadian coinage. The 1944 issue would become the final Tombac 5 cent before the mint switched to chrome-plated steel later that same year. Now let's examine the obverse, or front of the coin. The obverse features the left-facing portrait of King George VI. George VI became King of the United Kingdom and Canada in 1936 after the abdication of his brother, Edward VIII. His reign included the difficult years of World War II, making his portrait instantly recognizable on many wartime coins. Around the portrait appears the Latin inscription, Georgius Vidi, Gi, Rex itin emp. This translates to, George VI, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India. Each abbreviation carries historical meaning. G stands for De Grazia, meaning by the grace of God. Rex simply means king. IMP stands for Emperor of India, a title that would remain on Canadian coinage until India's independence. The portrait itself was designed by the famous sculptor Thomas Humphrey Paget. His design is admired for its realism and elegant simplicity. If you look carefully, you'll notice the king's neatly combed hair, strong jawline, and calm expression. Surrounding the rim is a border of small denticles, helping frame the design while protecting it from wear. The date, 1944, appears beneath the portrait, marking the final year of Canada's Tombac 5-cent coins. Now let's turn the coin over and explore its unique reverse design. Instead of Canada's traditional beaver, the 1944 Tombac 5 cent features the famous Victory design created during World War II. At the center is a large letter V representing victory. Inside the V stands a burning torch, a symbol of hope, freedom, and perseverance during one of history's darkest times. Above the design is the word Canada, while the date 1944 is split on either side of the torch. The denomination cents appears at the bottom, framed by two maple leaves that proudly represent Canada. Just below the torch are the small initials KS, honoring Thomas Shingles, the artist who created this iconic wartime design. One of the coin's most fascinating details is the Morse code that runs around the rim. It spells the wartime slogan, "We win when we work willingly." This powerful message encouraged Canadians to support the Allied war effort and made the Victory nickel one of the most meaningful coins ever produced by the Royal Canadian Mint. Today, the Victory reverse remains a lasting symbol of Canada's determination, unity, and contribution during World War II. One question many collectors ask is, why didn't Canada simply continue using nickel? The answer lies in wartime necessity. Nickel was considered a strategic metal. Every pound saved from coin production could instead be used in tanks, aircraft, ships, and military equipment. Tombac provided a practical alternative. It was easier to obtain and less critical to the war effort. However, Tombac wasn't perfect. Because of its copper content, many coins tarnished quickly. Some developed brown or reddish colors, while others darkened dramatically over time. This means collectors today often find 1944 Tombac nickels in many different shades. Is a 1944 Tombac 5-cent coin rare? The answer depends largely on its condition. More than 11 million examples were struck in 1944, so circulated pieces are generally available. However, high-grade, uncirculated coins are much more difficult to find. Because Tombac is a relatively soft alloy, many coins picked up scratches, fingerprints, and were shortly after entering circulation. Brilliant examples with original mint luster are highly sought after by collectors. Coins certified in mint state grades, especially MS65 and above, can command significant premiums. Collectors also search for interesting varieties, attractive toning, and well-preserved surfaces. Even though this coin isn't considered extremely rare, it represents a unique chapter in Canada's wartime history, making it an essential addition to many Canadian coin collections. The value of a 1944 Tombac 5-cent coin varies, depending on condition. A well-circulated example is often worth only a few dollars. Nicely preserved, uncirculated coins can sell for several times that amount. Exceptional mint state examples, particularly those professionally graded with outstanding eye appeal, may reach considerably higher prices at auction. As always, rarity of condition is often more important than total mintage. The 1944 Tombac 5-cent may be a small coin, but it represents a remarkable moment in history. It reminds us how even everyday pocket change was influenced by the demands of World War II. Its portrait of King George VI reflects Canada's role within the British Commonwealth, while the iconic beaver proudly symbolizes the nation's identity. Whether you're an experienced collector or just beginning your numismatic journey, the 1944 Tombac 5-cent offers far more than monetary value. It offers a tangible connection to one of history's most significant eras. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy exploring the stories behind historic coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me next time as we uncover another fascinating treasure from the world of numismatics. Until then, keep collecting, keep learning, and remember, every coin has a story waiting to be told.